All right. So, just did your audition for Mayfield. How do you feel?
I feel really good. I feel very, very happy.
Okay. So, we're editing the video for your audition to Mayfield. And realized that we didn't have any
Intro, outro, nothing.
Yeah, so let's give a little context. First, let me ask you this. How did you feel going to audition? Wait. Why did you want to go to Mayfield?
I wanted to go to Mayfield because I wanted to be just steeped, just like around the thing that I loved every single day, all day, every day. Like, I just wanted that. And I think you were the one that introduced me to this school back when I was in grade 6. And then from then on, I was just like, it seemed magical to me because I'd never seen that before. So I was really, really excited, and I wanted to go because it was something I was very, very passionate about.
Awesome. I love that. Okay, so you do your audition, you come out, we have that video. We'll insert that.
We're going to Mayfield Secondary School for my audition, my drama rap program audition.
How are you feeling?
I'm so excited. I'm really excited. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm also excited I'm just excited to see what's going to happen.
So let's talk about this whole process. I don't know if we should talk about it here or if we should do it later, but we can always recap. First of all, what made you feel like you wanted to go to an art school?
Well, I think I would say it would be you. Well, not only you, but I'd say you were a big part of that. Okay. I would say that when I was in like grade 6 or grade 5, he told me about Mayfield. He told me about arts high schools. I didn't really know that was a thing. I really didn't know what I wanted to do for high school at that time in my life.
You guys started watching Ant Farm on Disney.
Yes.
And I told you that is real.
Yeah.
Right? And then you didn't realize that there was an art school, or you could go choose a school that was specific to your art or your passion in high school.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I remember that. And then some years went by, and now I'm in grade 8, and it's time to think about high school again. And when we first visited a different school, and I was like, wow, this school's nice. I think I want to go to this school because they also have a SHISM program there. Art SHISM. They have an art SHISM program there. But then we went to Mayfield, and my mind was blown. It's such a beautiful school. It's very, very nice. And who was it that took us on the tour? They were also just
Vice principal.
Yes, the vice principal was very nice, and I just felt good about that school.
I was impressed with. I went to acting school in New York after high school, and so to see a dance studio. And drama rooms and all that stuff at a certain level when it comes to like post-secondary, I was like used to, but I was so blown away to see that level of professionalism in a high school in Ontario. So that really made me feel like if I was already sold, then when I went there, I was like, there's no way she's not gonna be.
Then we were all sold. And what was I gonna say? Oh, when you just go into a place and you just feel the vibe is right. There's no like particular thing you can put your finger on, but you just know that the feeling is right. When you go there, that's what I felt when I went to Mayfield. So I put in my application, and then I got an email saying my audition would be when it is, and now we're on our way there, and it's just crazy to me. Like, I'm just so excited.
Okay, that's cool. So we'll do a post interview And then we'll go home and we'll do a full podcast episode and we'll insert these 2 clips. But one I want to ask, like, what's your goal for your life? Like, why is going to an arts high school important to you? What do you see after high school? Yeah.
I want to go to, and it's not really an arts high school, it's a high school that has an arts program,
Right.
but their arts program is really good and something that they're known for. But I think that going to an art school is going to not only help me hone my skills more, it will also help me to be around people that want the same thing as me, and people that have the same thoughts, like the things that we want to do are similar. And I think that's also important, because you become who you hang around, you become who you are around, and I think that's really important.
It's good. Yeah, it's true. Environment is very important. You know, and if we're not intentional with the environment and relationships, then we start to live a life by default. And I always say it's either live a life by design or live a life by default. And default is just go to the school because it's there, go in this relationship because it's there, friends with this person because they're there, go to this job because it's there. And I don't feel that living a life by default creates a fulfilling, purpose-filled life, but living a life by design does. And you know, you just got to be intentional with your choices, and you got to make the sacrifices for your choices. And when we're in the middle of it, sometimes it feels like it's such a huge sacrifice, but when we look back at it, you realize that it was really a small point in time, but crucial small point in time.
Very, very crucial.
That can change the direction of your life. So here we are. All right, so just did your audition for Mayfield. How do you feel?
I feel really good. I feel very, very happy. I feel like I did a good job, and one thing that I work on, or like that I would like to work on, is speaking more fluently and completing my sentences. And that's what I did when I was in there, and I really was conscious of that, and I think that was helpful. Also for my monologue, I just felt really good about that. I didn't make any mistakes, and I felt really good about the acting too. And yeah, everything, I'm really happy, and I feel that it went well.
Good. Well, we wait and see, and we continue to chart the journey, right?
Yep.
Finding KeeKee. All right. And then we had to wait.
Yes.
Right? So you did audition January, forget what day, 13? 13?
Oh, it was 13?
Something like that.
10, no?
Somewhere
11?
around there. Somewhere around
11.
there. And then we had to wait, right?
Yes.
And we had gotten our first response, and it said...
Waitlisted spot number 8.
And I was devastated.
But
you were not.
No, I wasn't. When I first saw that, I was like, okay, this is a little sad, but I changed it, and I was like, I can't always get what I want all the time, every time, right when I want it. Sometimes I have to be patient and just wait. So I was like taking it as a test of patience and being like, okay, I will just wait, and I'll be content waiting, and not like in the mindset of, oh, I'm just going to wait and then it's going to be a no.
Yeah.
I was in the mindset of, oh, I'm just going to wait.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we waited some more.
But when you told me that this is a test of patience, it actually calmed my nerves. And I was like, yes, this is a test of patience. And I liked that maturity and approach. Because like I said, I was like, I was worried for myself, but then I was always worried about how you were going to feel, right? Because, you know, here's the thing, right? It's, we're outside of the region, right?
Yeah.
So seats are going to students inside the region first.
Drama program is like probably one of their most competitive ones, and my friend's also going. She got in we got our responses on the same day. She got accepted, I got waitlisted, So during that period of time where we were waiting, we were just not talking about it. We were just like,
she's
trying
in another
to be
program.
like, yes.
Right. But so that was another level of it too, right? Because she got it and then you're waiting and you're like, But then time passes and then you get.
Then I get accepted and I'm so excited. Like I literally can't wait. I'm just over the moon. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I have you to like make this sacrifice, because it's far away from where we live. It's far, but it's a sacrifice that you said that you're willing to make, and I'm very grateful for that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, because me and your mom and obviously and your sisters, like we recognize like the gift that you have and like your passion and how drama and musicals make you feel. So I thought, like, I remember my years in high school and you're going through so much as a teenager. You have enough things to deal with, right? So it would be great if you could deal with those things. At least you're in an environment where it's fun, and that you're doing what you love. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. When I went to the audition, I thought I was going to be more nervous, but I actually wasn't. Like, leading up to it, I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to think about it because I was just like, I don't want to like feel the nervous feelings, but they sort of like went away. And I think that like over the years of me doing auditions, I've been getting like better at that, like nerves. So nerves will always be there, but I would be so nervous to the point where I just wouldn't want to like even go. But I love it so much, but I didn't want to do the audition part. But for this audition, I'm so happy. I felt like grounded. I felt okay to do it because I think that made it better when I did actually do the audition. Yeah.
Let's talk about that real quick and then we'll end this. But like, we just did an audition the other day and you have grown so much, obviously, right? But like, talk about that feeling of like initial when I would give you feedback and then now.
Yeah, I have done a lot of self-tapes and a lot of auditions. And when I first started out, I would always be like, as soon as somebody, especially you, would just tell me, all right, we're going to try this a different way, I would just lose my mind. I would be like crying, like, oh, because in my mind, I was like, oh, I suck. But I don't really suck. I just should do it a different way. Or maybe you see something that I don't see. And I'm definitely getting way, way better with that. And I recognize that. And it makes me feel like proud that I'm making progress.
Awesome. And then, now you're going into 4 years of, rehearsals and
auditions
and theater and fun stuff. So, any words of wisdom to say, like, maybe you speak to yourself, on grade 6?
I don't know. I've always heard people ask these questions, but I've never answered them.
What do you think? Like, what would you want to tell somebody who's maybe like contemplating going to, performing arts school or performing arts program, and they're not sure? Like,
don't contemplate in your head. Contemplate out loud. Like, say it to somebody. Say it to yourself. Write it down. Write it down. If you say it, doesn't matter. It puts it into the world, puts it into the atmosphere, and you will draw those things closer to you. And being like a teenager or kid, it's kind of hard because you have to ask your parents for things. Like, I can't drive yet, so if I wanted to go and say he didn't want or he didn't know I wanted to go, he would never know. Like, he would never know what he needed to do. He would never know the steps he needed to take. He would never know, like...
You're not giving me the opportunity to accept the challenge. You'd be like, what? I want to support you in that.
Yeah, and sometimes you might feel afraid to say it out loud to someone, but once you do that, it makes things better for you, and it makes you feel more assured in your, like, decisions and your
contemplations.
Yeah, I think that's really, really, really good. Because if you just keep it in your head, nobody knows what you're thinking, what you want to do, like that you're even thinking about, like wanting to do this program or do this audition or do this whatever, right? So that's really, really good.
I always say, like, people have asked me, what advice do you have if you want to get into acting or something? And I always say, just say it out loud. Like, tell your parents, tell your friends, tell your teachers, because that will help you get further in the steps that you need to take to get to where you want to be.
Sure.